Hello, welcome back to Everyman Prepping. And what is this that I'm telling you to stockpile before it becomes illegal? Well, it's antibiotics. Over-the-counter antibiotics that you can get for your livestock, your chickens, your cows, your pigs, that kind of thing. And also for your fish and your birds, your pets at home. Both of these are going to become illegal for you to get yourself come June of this year due to the FDA Rule 263. They're going to say that you need a prescription for all this. You won't be able to treat your animals yourself. You're going to need a doctor to give you a prescription. So we're going to talk about how that's going to affect us on the food supply, food shortage issue with the livestock, and then also how that'll affect us getting them for our fish friends, for ourselves at our house here. So please like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. And let's first talk about the livestock. So, as the article says, are you ready? All antibiotics will be prescription only in 2023, and it'll be this June. So let's see what it's going to say. It says, in June, it says 2023, when all remaining over-the-counter antibiotics are switched to prescription status only. It says the medically important antibiotics, it says here, used by humans and animals. That's interesting. Let me read that again. Used by humans and animals, that's what they have here, are going to become prescription only. Things like penicillin, tetracycline, sulfamazazine, and other ones. They also say that swine antibiotics, they list a couple of those that are going to become prescription only. Ranchers and farmers won't be able to treat things themselves. So why does the FDA want to do this? Well, let's see what this article says. It says, drug residues in meat, milk, and eggs, and honey from treated animals expose bacteria to trace amounts that doesn't kill them, but rather allow for the development of antibiotic resistance. So the government is doing this for your own good. They're protecting you because, the farmers and ranchers that are using these over-the-counter antibiotics to treat their animals are probably not doing it right. They're leaving residuals. The bacteria become resistant to it, and they're afraid it's going to get into the human population, and then humans will suffer. So, the FDA, in their infinite wisdom, decide that only doctors can prescribe these now, so they're treated properly. Once again, in order to protect you. Once again, it kind of sounds like something for the last couple of years that the government did to protect everybody. So, keep that in mind that, the government's always looking out for our welfare, especially the last few years was something else they wanted to give us to protect us. So that's why they're telling us. Now, what is the effect to this? Well, farmers, ranchers are going to have to get a vet out there. They got to get a relationship with a veterinarian and to prescribe the drugs. So they won't be able to do it themselves. So there'll be slower treatment. More animals may die. It's going to be more expensive. When the ranchers and farmers can buy this themselves, they can buy in bulk and they can buy it from whoever they want, save a ton of money. So their costs are going to go up. So we might lose more animals. And since it's slower because you got to get a prescription, the disease might spread, killing more animals, and then the costs. So that's going to impact the food supply. We're going to have more food shortages and the food will be more expensive. If the farmers take on the expense of this, they either have to pass it on to you and me, or they lose money and maybe go bankrupt. So not good at all. So that's the bad part on that side. Now, let's talk about your fish and birds at home. You can get stuff like this. Here's some, what is this? This is the ampicillin. Fish ampicillin for, the fish, of course. You want to use this on fish. And here's another bottle here of amoxicillin, for the fish, of course. And so, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one. This is not medical advice or anything at all. So don't do anything I do for sure. But some people have wondered, can people take these? That article, like we just read, said that these are important for humans and animals. So the question comes up, could a human take this? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't give that advice. But you know what? I'm going to show you something here. Some scientists, very smart people, did a study on this because they had the same question. I'm going to put a link to this study in the description below so you can read this for yourself, educate yourself, make your own decision, do your own research. Definitely do your own research. Don't take anything I say. I just want to point out that this was done in 2022. It's published, and a bunch of people with PhDs and MSs, a bunch of smart people here. And what they did a study on is non-prescription fish antibiotics. Are they the same as those prescribed to humans? Yeah, it sounds like an interesting question. Let's check it out. Definitely not going to read this whole thing. We're going to read what they tested, which is amoxicillin and cephalexin. Hopefully I pronounced that somewhat close. And we're just going to go straight to the results. Like I said, you can read this whole thing to educate yourself, but this says that all products contain the equivalent of not less than 90% and not more than 120% of their labeled contents within the USP standards. What is USP? It tells us that it's the US Pharmacopeia protocols. Sounds important. And what are the results? Well, let's see. The results confirm that the human grade, prescribed, and the non-prescribed over-the-counter fish antibiotics tests match USP standards and are pharmacologically indistinguishable. So let me repeat that. That the human prescribed ones and the over-the-counter fish ones, for these two at least, these two substances in this study, are pharmacologically indistinguishable. So you can't tell them apart. They seem to be the same. So that's what this study says. Once again, that's not me saying that. That's these bunch of smart scientists that if we follow the science, we could take their word that, these things here are indistinguishable from the ones that your doctor prescribes. You go get it, Walgreens or CVS or Rite Aid. Indistinguishable. So do whatever you want with that knowledge, what you want with it. But just know by June, you're not going to be able to go on or to your local store, go to your fish store, your feed store, and pick these up. You won't be able to do that. So, time's running out. Now, I know some of you are banging away on your keyboards right now saying, well, hey, there's Jace Medical or Contingency Medical that, you can get human antibiotics. And that's true. They don't sponsor this video. They don't sponsor me or the channel. Hey, if you wanted Jace, you want to sponsor me, feel free to contact me. We'll talk. But that is an option for your humans out there. But, for your fish or, your birds, and if you're really concerned about them and you want to get some pharmacologically indistinguishable antibiotics from the human one for them, that is not online, where you have to give a credit card. You can just go down to a feed store or, fish supply place and use some cash and buy them yourself. You have till June, and then they'll disappear. So that'll be something that won't be available to you. So, like I said, do your own research, make your own decisions. I want to repeat again, I probably have told you this a few times, I'm not a medical doctor, and I don't play one here on YouTube. So do your own research, make your own decisions, but you're going to need these. Once you can't get to a doctor, once you can't get, if they come in short supply, it's probably good to have a stockpile of these on hand in case your fish gets sick. Or, if you're a rancher and a farmer, for sure, you want to stock up now. For your cow, your pig, those antibiotics, research the expiration dates and how long they're good for, but you want to stockpile that now before you have to get prescription to save money and come ahead. So definitely a rancher for your livestock on your ranch and your farm, you probably want to load up now before June. Otherwise, it's going to become a big hassle and a big expense, I believe. So that's all I have for you now. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.